What's going on, everyone? Welcome to QVO Games. My name is Juan. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it so much. This video is going to be about the games coming to retail the week of February 19th. We have about 10 games. Some of those are expansions. Some are coming from Kickstarter and are now making their way to retail. And I am extremely excited to talk about these games because I have been looking forward to some of these titles for a very long time. One, and then two, some of these titles are related to like other titles that I really enjoy. And one that I talked about recently a lot and I played a couple times and I'm like, I really enjoy this game. I am super excited to talk about this week's games, so let's get this video going. Keep in mind, I am covering the games coming to retail in the US. Therefore, these games may have already been released in other regions of the world. And you may already seen coverage, you may already have a copy if you attended a convention. Just keep in mind that I'm covering the games coming to retail in the US. Also keep in mind, we still have a global shipping crisis going on. Therefore, if these games get delayed or get pushed back or the release date changes in any way, I will make sure to update you in the new release week's video. Let's get these games showcased. First things first, coming out February 22nd is going to be by Arcane Wonders, Dice Manor. Dice Manor. The game itself is, Arcane Wonders number one, amazing publisher. They come out with some crazy cool games that I really love and enjoy a lot. Dice Manor falls within short. In Dice Manor, you are creating your own manors. It's almost like a game of MTV Cribs. You're creating your own manors, having people come in and tour it, get impressed by it, and you gain points and prestige by doing so. You're going to be rolling dice, hence dice, and you're going to be creating your manor. You're going to be using these dice to bid on different pieces of manor, different pieces of your manor that you're going to be fitting onto your little tableau going on, right? They do have some great pictures. This scoring board is so notorious. This scoring board is in Smartphone Inc. This scoring board is in Foundations of Rome. I think Foundations of Rome has it as well. But I know Smartphone Inc. definitely has it, and there's other games. They've used this scoring board, and I love it. I love the way it looks a little more... it has more presence on the table when you look at it. I love how they stack it up this way. The components themselves look really amazing. These pictures are great. They are showcasing the game perfectly on their website. Arcane Wonders does amazing jobs with all their games, and Dice Manor, I really want to try it out at least once and play it. It's going to be a game where you're going to be building out with tiles, different tiles, but a little bit polyomino, and you're going to build on your manor, and you get points for having different rooms next to other rooms. Very cliche mechanic. However, everything else just looks amazing, and also the production value for Arcane Wonders is always 10 out of 10. So, Arcane Wonders releasing Dice Manors February 22nd. Coming up next is going to be Mobile Markets by Arcane Wonders, coming out February 22nd as well. Mobile Markets. This game is a Smartphone Inc. game, right? I love Smartphone Inc. It's behind one of these games over here. And Smartphone Inc. is a game where you're working as a company. You're working as a company of selling cell phones, and you're trying to sell out to the mass market. Hence, Mobile Markets, and that one's called Smartphone Inc. So, in Mobile Markets, you're playing as the CEO of a multinational consumer electronic company. You're selling kind of cell phones plus, right? And your goal is to sell the most phones. And you do that in different phases, which is 8 different phases. And in Smartphone Inc., that actually seems daunting. There's a lot of phases in the game, and there's 5 rounds total. However, the phases go by so fast. And the rulebook can be a little long, honestly. And I was reading this rulebook as well in Smartphone Inc. In Mobile Markets. And the rulebook looks daunting, and it looks really complex and complicated. But once you play the game, it's super smooth, and that's the game. That's the theme with that's the thing with Smartphone Inc. And in Mobile Markets, I feel like it does that similarly. The rulebook just looks crazy complicated, but the game's gonna play smoothly. You're going to have different phases. You're gonna be planning out your marketing. You're gonna be planning, creating your phones, selling them, and also marketing and doing all that in different phases. I really love even like the artwork, the way the components look in Smartphone Inc. I think it's going to look great in Mobile Markets. It looks great already, and even just the game itself plays. It's one of my favorite economy games. And I love the action selection system they use as well. And I am super excited. It gives me a lot of vibes from like Furnace. I don't know if you ever played Furnace. It just reminds me of that so much. And I feel like the theme of this game would fit so well with the mechanics of Furnace. However, it looks like they just changed up a couple things, and they definitely is a different game. It's not exactly like Furnace, because Furnace is an engine builder, and I don't think this game is an engine builder in any way, shape, or form. This looks like a smaller version of Smartphone Inc. is what I'm looking at. And by reading the rules, it seems like it plays similarly in that fashion as well. This is going to be Mobile Markets by Arcane Wonders, coming out February 22nd. Coming up next by 25th Century Games is going to be coming out. It's going to be Blazon, coming out February 24th. And February Yeah, February 24th. Let me make sure I get this right before I say this wrong. 22nd, excuse me. February 22nd. Blazon's going to be coming out February 22nd. Blazon is going to be a game. Oh, artwork by Ian O'Toole, by the way. This game was on Kickstarter, and it's now coming out to retail. The game is interesting. I like the theme. I really do. I think the theme's an interesting one. Here's some pictures, and I want to show you actually the big one is going to be the shield here. So, Blazon Blazon itself, the word, is from it's like a language of heraldry, which was used in vocabulary, syntax, grammar, strongly on angelicized version of Norman French, right? So Blazon is going to be a heraldry type of style word, and they're going to be using these tokens and chits to be building out your shield. I really want to show you the shield, but for some really weird reason, they're not showing up. This is going to be the best picture I have here. So the whole game is based around the shield here as well, and you're going to be taking different acts to try to put and cater your shield into different forms and manners, right? You're designing your shield, and it's going to get you points at the end of the game. You're doing different acts and going on doing different actions and completing different quests to try to build out your shield better than your opponents. And of course, the shield you build is going to determine how many points you get. Blazon was on Kickstarter, now it's coming to retail, and I think the game has a pretty interesting theme itself. Like, just the game looks and feels interesting, because also the whole thing about building out your shield the way it is, I really enjoy that aspect, and also like doing different things to get different tokens. I kind of dig that as well. I'm really interested and curious to see how the gameplay is for me. And keep in mind, on their website, you can buy either the retail, the regular, or the deluxe edition. Deluxe edition looks like it comes with like a bunch of like wooden tokens instead of just maybe regular cardboard ones. So if you're interested in the deluxe editions, I mean, you can definitely pick it up soon. Definitely pick it up as soon as possible, because I don't know if they're going to have once they sell out, it's gone forever. And I'm a really big sucker for deluxeified games. This is going to be Blazon, coming out by 25th Century Games, coming out February 22nd. Coming up next is going to be by Lookout Games, coming out February 24th, is going to be Stacking Stuff, a Patchwork game. Game designed by Uwe Rosenberg. Uwe Rosenberg is like everyone's favorite designer. He does a great job. So, Stacking Stuff. It's a Patchwork style game for 2 players, yes. And supposedly this is supposed to be simpler than Patchwork. I can see it. I was reading the rulebook a little bit. I'm like, okay, this does seem a little bit simpler. But I think they're pretty similar if you ask me. But if that's what their goal they're going with, that's what they're going with, right? So I want to show you the components here. Basically, you're going to have your time marker, and you can play up to 4 players. And the person who goes first is going to be the person in last place. I really like that style of determining who goes first, only because the potential for strategizing is really high with that. You can pull off some really interesting combos and moves, and I really enjoy that about games like that. So if you're going last, if you're last on this marker here, you get to go again and again and again and again until the person who's last gets to go. So if you pull off some really high point moves, sometimes it can really delay you from going again, therefore making you last place. I mean, you should technically eventually, you're never going to have enough points to never play again, right? You're going to be last place. It's just determining and balancing the level of how many points you should get. How can I be last and take multiple turns over and over again to build out your moving shelf, right? Your moving van. So the whole thing is you're trying to stack up into your moving van, and I really love puzzles like this. I don't know why I love organizing things, like having everything just fit perfectly into place. I just love that in real life and in games now too. So you're basically going to be stacking up your moving van, and you're going to be taking turns filling up your van with as many polyominoes as possible, right? You're trying to do that here and stacking up your furniture, your pieces, and you're trying to do your best to get the most points at the end of the game. I really enjoy that. I really, really do enjoy just having this. I love polyomino experiences like this. So the thing is, if the game is too light, it might not be for me, but the game is definitely one for people who love Patchwork. If you love Patchwork, you should try this one out. If you like the theme of Patchwork, and maybe you want to change, maybe you don't like the theme of Patchwork, is what I meant to say. Maybe you don't like the theme of Patchwork. Well, this is basically a Patchwork style game, but in a different format. Also supposed to be easier and friendlier and easier to bring out. So this is going to be Stacking Stuff by Lookout Games, coming out February 24th. Coming up next, coming out February 24th, is going to be 7 Wonders Edifice by Repos Production. 7 Wonders Edifice. This is going to be an expansion of 7 Wonders. Okay, I have never played 7 Wonders. I haven't yet. I'm meaning to, and I'm trying to get to it. I'm trying to get there, but I haven't played 7 Wonders yet. However, this expansion seems really interesting, and it brings a mechanic I really enjoy about other games that I truly love. So, 7 Wonders Edifice. I'm trying to find some pictures here for you. There we go. 7 Wonders Edifice is going to be an expansion that's going to bring in a new mechanic or a new attribute to the game of 7 Wonders. So, this is interesting. You're going to be able to, with your fellow players, bring out an edifice and determine if someone wants to join in with you and help you build this edifice. If you fail to build this edifice, you actually get a you get a consequence, right? A negative consequence to not being able to build it. And if you go in as a group, you all get a reward, but you split the reward. So you have to determine if you are willing to jump in and take that negative if it doesn't get completed, or if you're not. I really love that. It's kind of like opens up like a little bit of, it's not really negotiation because I don't think I read that in the rule book. It's not negotiating, but I love that whole aspect of like risk and reward when you're working with your fellow, like your opponents. You're trying to beat them and get more points to them, but you're also trying to negotiate with them and get higher, like you're negotiating. You're trying to see if you're going to jump in on this project to see if you can kind of break in the rewards as well. I really love that. There's other games that do that really well, and I'm excited to see when I play Seven Wonders. I'm excited to see how well Edifice does because this is an expansion I really want to play and try out. This is going to be Seven Wonders Edifice coming out February 24th by Repos Production Games. Coming up next is going to be Hellboy the Dice Game by Mantic Games. Hellboy the Dice Game coming out February 24th as well. So, basically, Hellboy, the dice game. There is a previous game, the previous Hellboy game that is supposed to be a bigger version of this, and they're trying to make this kind of dumb it down a little bit. And Hellboy dice game is going to be a push your luck style game. You're going to have a deck of cards, which you see in the middle, and you're going to pull out different enemies or rooms that you go into to try to pass in the cards. And you're going to be rolling dice. You have 3 hit points, and if you run out of hit points, you're out of the game. You're basically out. But in the rooms itself, you're going to be rolling dice, determining what dice you're going to roll, how many you're going to roll, and you're trying to beat the room. You either have to be an enemy, have to be a little puzzle dungeon that you have to like do, and you have to get a high enough score to win. And you're going to go as far as you can and push your luck to get the most points. It seems like a pretty simple game. If you enjoy push your luck style games and you want a Hellboy theme added onto it, it seems like a really good game. It's going to be like I said, very simple, straightforward. I really think it's going to be just a game where you're going to bring into your collection to like bring out for like small moments. Maybe you have people who just are not into just more realistic themes and want like something more relatable. Hellboy can do that for you. It's going to be February 24th by Mantic Games, Hellboy the Dice Game. Coming up next is going to be the new Marvel Champions packs. If you haven't been following the channel or been subscribed for long enough, I love Marvel Champions, and I truly do. I love that game. I think it's my #1 game. Spoiler alert for a top 10 coming up soon. So Rogue Marvel Champions Hero Pack. Marvel Champions, it's a deck building game, and you're going to, pre-constructed deck building game, and it's also a living card game where you're going to be using these decks to go take on your favorite villains in Marvel. And these characters themselves are just hero packs. There's a bunch of expansions out already. I mean, if you don't like Rogue of the X-Men, and if you don't like Rogue from the X-Men, then you have a bunch of options. This is just going to be a hero pack expansion for Marvel Champions, and it's going to bring in new cards, new abilities, a new character to try out and master, and it's going to be Rogue. And there's going to be also Gambit, who's coming out as well. This is actually these mutants, right, from the Marvel universe. It's been a long time coming because a lot of people have been waiting for like all these mutant expansions to come out, because we have a bunch of other ones like Captain America, Hulk, Black Widow, Spider-Ham, like all these different characters, and now the mutants are coming out now. They're releasing all of them. So these 2 packs are coming out February 24th. They're going to be there for you to purchase by Fantasy Flight Games. Coming up next is going to be Rook City Renegades, Sentinels of the Multiverse. This game is similar to Marvel Champions in a way. It's similar, and it's going to be coming out February 24th. So, Sentinels of the Multiverse, there is a lot of different games based off of them. I mean, they have like different games based off of these comic book superheroes. Sentinels of the Multiverse is going to be a game where you're going to have your same thing, a hero pack or a pack of cards where it's a character, and you're going to go up against a villain who has like different schemes and things they're working on. I have not played Sentinels of the Multiverse physically. I've played it digitally, and it's streamlined a lot better there. And also the story, it's animated, it has a little bit of voice acting. So, but the thing is, when I really, really love a game digitally, I like having it physically. The collector in me comes out slightly. And this game is going to be an expansion for the Definitive Edition, which is like the new version of this. They're revamping the whole series and bringing it out. Redefined art, redefined like mechanics. They're like fixing some things and adding some things, changing it up a little bit. So this is going to be Sentinels of the Multiverse, Rook City Renegades expansion, coming out February 24th. Coming out February 24th is going to be Rolling Heights by AEG. I have been waiting for this game. I backed it on Kickstarter. It's coming to retail now. And I have been waiting for this game for the longest time because it looks so awesome. They do. I wanted to show you this picture so bad. The game is Rolling Heights. You're basically building Rolling Heights community, and I think Rolling Heights is actually a community in New York. In the you're playing in the 1920s, and you roll your meeples, and you're depending on how your meeples land is like what kind of action or how much they can do, and then you start building them, right? You start building the cities. I think that's super neat. The table presence for this game, I am so excited to play this game and just see like how the city builds out, all the different ways the buildings stack up and what everyone does just to make it look like a real life city. I don't know. I'm really excited for this game. Rolling Heights, like I said, is a game that was a Kickstarter and now it's coming to retail. And I am pumped. I cannot wait to try this game for the first time. And I am really, really excited. There's a lot of coverage everywhere going on right now. So if you're kind of hesitant about the game, definitely look it up and look into it. I think this game is going to be a smash hit and it's going to be a lot of fun. Here it is, rolling the meeples, by the way. Here are some of the cool tiles that look amazing. And there's also, look at the art. I cannot wait. So, Rolling Heights, I think I'm hyping this game up a little too much here, but it's definitely one that I've been waiting for. It's by John DeClaire, and it's going to be just a game where you're trying to build cities and have your tiles do different points. You gain points by combining different tiles and city levels to try to gain points. It's not a cooperative game, and then you're going to be competitively trying to get points as fast the best way possible by building different tiles and putting different cities and stacking them up. Rolling Heights by AEG, coming out February 24th. And that is it. We are at the end of the video. I am so hyped for a lot of these games. I think we are getting back into it. We're having some really crazy releases, and I am super excited to like just experience all these games. I am definitely going to be picking up a lot of these because I enjoy the themes. They seem like they're doing things a little bit differently than a lot of games are just sometimes copy and paste it on there. So I am super excited. If you made it this far into the video, I appreciate it so much. Thank you for watching the whole video. That helps a lot with the channel, helps a lot with the views, and lets me know that I'm doing a good job here, and then we are actually entertaining you while providing you some great coverage of the games. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Have a great one.